No matter how many times we do this, it always catches me off guard when the music ends.
Oh, I never know. There's not like an ending to your music. It's just it's one of those things. It's just I never know when it's going to end, and I'm like, "Hi, everybody."
Welcome, everybody. We're getting to get punchy right off the
We
start.
have no clue when we're coming on the air. Actually, on the backside, it's just I see what you guys see on YouTube, and so I'm like, "Oh, here we
are." We're here again. Welcome, everybody. This is TSG Live Talking Trains. This is your host. Oh, over here, and I'm the sidekick.
Well, kind of the other way around, but that's okay.
No.
Hi, everybody.
That's what it is.
Happy day after Pi Day.
That's right, and it's also about to be St. Patrick's Day in a couple days too.
I saw a funny meme because this is the middle of March, right? March 15th. And they had taken a Caesar dressing and stabbed it with a knife and said "Happy Ides of March."
Yeah, I saw
you
that.
Get it? Like,
yep.
Or beware the Ides of March or something like that.
That's right. Every year on March 15th, which is the Ides of March, which is the infamous day when Caesar was betrayed by the Senate and killed by his closest advisors, right? Including Brutus or Brute. Right. I listened to the Iron Maiden album entitled Killers because the first song on that album is called Ides of March. And I just started doing that like, I don't know, 30 years ago. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like the 21st day of September, everybody plays that song,
Which one?
Do you remember the 21st day of September?
Right.
That's awesome. Sorry for the singing. I'll apologize to the audience right now.
Well, I think you said it was, do you remember? That's how it goes.
Yeah, it's more like that. The 21st day of September. Yeah. I love that kind of music. So
yeah. Isn't that I'm not going to do it. I was going to sing the song, but I'm not going to do it. So we have
we should probably talk about some trains.
Yeah. Well, before we start talking about trains, I want to show people that these shirts are out now. The YouTube meet and greet shirts. And this
has a great photo on it.
Yeah, that's a Michelle original, the photo. We have the special TSG train crew ones. If you haven't, if you're going to the meet and greet in May and you're part of the TSG train crew and you didn't get one of these yet, check Patreon because I put a link there and they're for sale basically for cost plus, I think, a nickel. Teespring doesn't let me add any items unless it has something like 5 cents of profit in it. So when you see me, if you like, I'll give you the nickel that you spent for the
oh, my nickel back, John.
What is it?
That's too funny. Yeah. So on the back of the ones John has, they say TSG train crew.
Yes.
Versus the ones that are just from Sparky that don't have that on the back. So if you're a Patreon member of TSG, you can get the shirt.
Yeah, you represent, man. We represent when we go places.
I didn't wear a train t-shirt today. I thought about it. So I actually presented to my Rotary Club today at the museum. They did like a field trip and came to the museum. And I thought, I better not wear a train t-shirt. I better look professional.
Oh, but Colorado Model Railroad Museum polo shirt is a train shirt still.
And I started putting my name on them because I forget my name tag all the time. So I'm Michelle, by the way, so I can remember.
Oh, but you need to have it spelled like mirrored so that when you look in the mirror.
Oh, is it mirrored on the show? Oh, you should see the name tag I got one time that said Michelle Impiema. Like they messed my last name up so bad. It's like empanada. And so I just kept it. I like it. I'll wear. It's on my train show bag. If you see me with a backpack at a train show, it's on there.
Well, excellent. Yeah. Well, the train crew shirt that I got that I'm wearing is kind of a special edition because it just says train crew. It doesn't have the TSG on it. It was the first one I designed, and I thought, oh, I should put TSG on that. And so after I ordered it, I changed it. So all the rest of them say TSG train crew.
So you're special.
Well, yeah, I'm special for other reasons too, but we won't get into that. So anyway, we have some things that we want to talk about. I want to bring something up before I forget, as long as you're okay with that, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
The South Bay Historical Railroad. Here, let me just bring up the little picture that I have. They have their spring open house and model train display coming up on April 1st and 2nd. And I wanted to mention this because it's coming up before the other first thing that we're going to talk about here. We're going to bring in another friend. I wanted to mention this because this is, if you live in the Bay Area, well, even if you don't live in the Bay Area, it still is one of the best train related events in the Bay Area, where the volunteers at the SBHRS open up the depot. They have the model layouts up and running, bunches of trains running on the layouts. The private rail car that's parked adjacent to the depot is also open for people to go in and look at. It's
really pretty. They let us go in it that day.
Right. Beautifully restored.
It's a beautiful depot too. It's definitely worth visiting.
Yeah. So the library will be open. That's right. Yeah. So everything's open on the open house, including, and this is the really cool part, is the interlocking tower, which not everybody gets to see that. So
yeah, that was really cool. I'd never seen an interlocking tower with all the handles that get moved inside. It was very interesting.
Yeah. So just so you know, everybody, that's coming up April 1st and 2nd. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you look at it, I won't be able to volunteer for that this year because we're going to be in Colorado. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'll make this go away now. And what say we bring in our first guest?
I have one more thing coming up. Do you want me to get it out now?
Yeah.
It's that video.
Get the lead out.
Because it's coming. I didn't make a nice flyer for it. But if you watch the NMREX this month, which I think is Saturday the 25th, there's going to be kind of a break in the middle. And during that break, I made my own Railfan video when I went to Dallas and Fort Worth. And it's kind of the places that you'll see if you go to convention. And it's really terrible. It's Michelle and her cell phone. And it's 29 minutes. So be patient and don't ever expect to get those minutes back. Just warning you now. It is kind of Michelle's adventures through Dallas and Fort Worth. I spent a week there and I condensed it down to 29 minutes. So if you want to watch that, it'll be aired on NMREX on the 25th.
And Michelle, you're not giving yourself enough credit. It's not as bad as she's making it sound. I had a chance to see it. Now, admittedly, I did watch it at 1.5 or 1.75 speed. But
he was cruising through it.
That was just because I was tired and it was later at night and I was trying to go to sleep sometime soon.
Well, there's a whole lot of B-roll in it, so you can best. I did a lot of rail fanning, so there's a lot of train video in it that will be cut out later. It'll be shortened, trust me, before it goes on the website or anything. But I left the long version the way I liked it, and they'll air it on NMREX, and then I'll shorten it up for the website for the convention. I just made it for fun. I thought I would want to know what it's like to go visit somewhere, and so I made a video of where to park and what you're going to see and those kind of things.
What we should do, Michelle, is once you have the edited version done, or maybe before that, we can talk about that, because I know you did a lot of work planning for the prototype tours and
maybe next month we'll talk about it, and I'll show some other stuff about the prototype stuff. It was really interesting learning about the places we're taking the tours to, so it's been a good process.
I know when I watched it, and this is a compliment to you for doing a good job with the video. When I watched it, it made me wish I was going to go to the convention.
Oh, good. That's the point.
That was, I think, what you were after anyway. So you did a really good job with it. Anyway, so why don't we is that it? Should we go? Should we bring in Glenn?
No, let's move on. That's my only upcoming event outside of what we're talking about tonight. So.
Okay. So with that, then I'll bring in our very first guest. This is Glenn Sutherland. Hi, Glenn.
Hello, John. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Glenn.
So people probably, if they watch this channel a lot, probably recognize you. We had Glenn on about 6 months ago or something like that. And also, Glenn's been on a couple other videos here on the channel. One about his caboose room in his house, which is a room that's made up on the inside to look just like a caboose, and it does. And the other one that I remember straight offhand is the Sierra Railway 1923 HO scale layout, which is a representation of the Sierra Railway back in 1923, which is also happens to be really fun to operate. So welcome back, Glenn. You have something else you want to talk about here today, though, right?
Yes, thank you, John. Good to be back. Yeah, I want to talk about actually three events and one organization, and they all have to do with historical railroads in Tuolumne County, California. Tuolumne County is up in the foothills to the Sierra Nevada mountains, about 2.5 hours east of San Francisco. And throughout the first half of the 20th century, it was just an absolute beehive of railroad activity, not just in extent, but also in variety. The railroads operating then included the Sierra Railway, which was kind of the basis for it all, that was built in 1897, but soon also included the West Side Lumber Company Railroad, a very major logging railroad, the Sugar Pine Railroad, which later became the Pickering Lumber Company Railroad, the Hetch Hetchy Railroad, which was built by the city of San Francisco to build the Hetch Hetchy Dam inside Yosemite National Park to create the water supply for the entire city of San Francisco, and a number of other railroads. There was a little tiny 3-mile railroad called the Peach Growers Association Railroad, all of these in Tuolumne County. The first event I wanted to tell you about is one that we've been doing since 2009 annually, except for a couple of years off during COVID, and that's called the Sierra Railway Historical and Modelers Seminar. And we never call it by its long name, it's just the Sierra Seminar. And it is going to be held this year on April 23rd, which is a Sunday. The doors open at 8:30. We start with coffee and donuts. We break for lunch with pizza. We have soft drinks and water all day long, and all those things are included in the low registration price that can be as low as $20, $25 to the general public, but I'll get into that later. It's a variety of things centered on a series of presentations on both historical situations involving the Sierra Railway or occasionally other Tuolumne County railroads, or modeling of those railroads. And just to give you a sampling of the topics that will be presented on this year, one will be photos by noted early rail fan and photographer Al Rose, who was also known quite a bit for rail fanning the Yosemite Valley Railroad. But we have early photos taken by him between 1935 and 1955. Also, there will be a modeling-oriented presentation on how to use 3D printing to make prototype models. As many people know, Railtown 1897 Historic Park, State Historic Park, is in Jamestown, which was the steam locomotive servicing facilities and headquarters for the Sierra Railway. There's going to be a presentation by the curator from there on the restoration of Sierra Coach number 2 and all that's involved in doing a proper restoration of historical equipment. And another presentation will cover the history of the 2 different depot/general office buildings that the Sierra has had over the years. Sadly, both ended in fire, one in the teens and the other in 1978. But they're very recognizable, but that'll be one of the other presentations. Also during the day at the Sierra Seminar, we have displays, items for sale, probably the primary attraction for our attendees is just getting to see your buddies once a year in that context. So that's the Sierra Seminar. It's again April 23rd, Sunday, all day long basically. The Sierra Seminar started with just 3 of us individuals organizing it, but about a year ago we formed a new nonprofit organization called the Tuolumne Historical Railroad Association Incorporated. It's a full-on 501c3, and so it now is the operator of the Sierra Seminar. It is sponsoring another event that same weekend. As a fundraiser, we are sponsoring a special excursion train that will run out of Jamestown, the Railtown 1897 facility, It will be a very expanded and enhanced version of the excursion trains that they run out of there normally, and will include wine and beer and soft drinks for everyone who rides. There will be music on board. There will be appetizers. We're going to have merchandise for sale and a silent auction. So, and also a couple photo run-bys for the rail fans. So that's something that we're promoting. And when I'm through here, I'll tell you how to find out about all of these things. So that's Saturday evening, April 22nd, just the night before the seminar. It'll be about a 2 to 2.5 hour train ride. That Saturday during the day is another event that is not sponsored by our organization, but we're very supportive and cooperative, and that's called the West Side Reunion. This is going to be their 35th year, and that's similar to this year's seminar, except the focus is the West Side Lumber Company Railroad. And that is now operated by a gentleman named Frank Markovich. And if you're interested in that, you can go to the website westsidereunion.com, or he has an ad in the most recent issue of the Narrow Gauge and Short Line Gazette. I did want to mention that I forgot to mention the excursion train is called the Tuolumne Preservation Express, because we hope to raise some money for this. And the goal of this organization is to help preserve and help others preserve the history of all the railroads of Tuolumne County. But to do that, we need money. And so this train is a fundraiser as well as a benefit for our members. We are accepting memberships as well. So to find out about any of these things, in about a week to 10 days, our brand new website will be up and running. Unfortunately, it is not right now, but if you search for Tuolumne Railroad, you will find it easily. But give us a week or so before you do that. In the meantime, if you want information on any of these things, you can email me, and I'll just have to spell it for you. Well, it's on the screen. So my email address is just my name and then @sti.net. And that's what I've got for you. We hope to see you in Tuolumne County later on April.
There's one thing you left out that I think we need to mention, which is where it's being held. The West Side Reunion and the Sierra Seminar both are being held at the Sonora Senior Center in Sonora, California.
Sonora, California. It's
right,
about 5 miles from Jamestown, yes.
Right. I don't have the address handy. I don't know if you have that handy, Glenn, but
I believe it's 540 Greenlee Road in Sonora.
There we go. And it's a great location actually for this. It's almost like it was made for these events. It's perfectly sized, right?
It's a good facility, yes.
Excellent. And I'm really looking forward to this train ride. I know that we've talked off camera about this, and are they still planning to do some portion of the run over the line in places where the regular excursions don't go?
We are still hoping for that. There are it's now somewhat more doubtful that we'll be able to extend the mileage by very much.
Mm-hmm.
We know we can extend it a little bit, so we're frankly not promoting that because we just can't guarantee it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those things
will be a steam train pulled by 100-year-old Sierra Locomotive 28, and we're hoping for 4 historical passenger cars.
The other
size train.
It sounds fantastic.
The other really cool thing about that is the fact that there's going to be some run-bys done, because that doesn't happen on the regular excursions either.
No, not at all.
That alone will make it worthwhile. The fact that there will be run-bys and the fact that it will be all historic equipment. So
right.
Very much looking forward to that. So thank you much for coming on, Glenn, to talk about it. I think
thank you. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It's worth promoting.
It's funny. I was just told today I need to go to this area of the country and learn more about the trains there by a guest. So,
well, and I'll tell you, Michelle, the Railtown 1897 is fairly unique amongst steam excursion railroads in that all the steam servicing facilities are the originals.
Cool. Yeah.
Some dating back to 1897, most of them to about 1922 or 23, and they have been in continuous use since then. And I've been told it's one of only two steam locomotive servicing facilities that's still been in continuous use. You know, a lot of excursion railroads run steam, but they're run out of a steel building that was built, 20 years ago.
Right.
And this is the original stuff, and you can feel the history when you walk through these buildings.
Yeah. So, well, Sierra Seminar sounds fantastic. I hope it goes really well. Thanks for telling us about it.
Thank you.
It will. Cool. All right. Thanks, Glenn. It's always great having you on, and we'll see you soon.
Sounds good. Okay.
Right.
Take care, guys.
All right. Cool. I'm really looking forward to this. He talked me into going, Michelle.
I love an excursion train. That's awesome. That's going to be so fun.
We're going to go up to the West Side Reunion and the excursion train and the Sierra Seminar with cameras. So we'll be covering, we'll be doing some podcast coverage of it, if nothing else.
Cool.
Really looking forward to that. So I'm trying to think now, I'm trying to think, but nothing happens. We have to talk about something else that's coming up even sooner. And I know we talked about it last month, but we really need to talk about it again because I'm getting really excited about this, right? People know it's on the thumbnail, right? We're going to talk about the Rocky Mountain Train Show again. And I don't know if I told you.
Some updates too. We know we've got like what the steam crew is going to talk about and the UP steam crew and stuff. So yeah,
cool.
We got more to talk about.
Well, let's talk about that, but let's bring in some more guests and because they have some stuff to talk about too. So the first one we'll bring in is John. John was with us. Hello, John. John was with us last month, and boy, he'd really talked a lot. But it was a lot of good information, and that was kind of the point to having you on last time, John, and hopefully you have a lot of good information this time too. So, and then after whatever information you want to impart to us, I think you need to introduce somebody else, don't you?
Well, yeah, and what people don't realize is we go to the ends of the earth to try and bring in the best manufacturers and vendors to our show. And this one, we actually had to dip back in time to when things were simpler and more interesting. And so here's the video.
I hadn't seen that yet. That was good. I'm trying not to laugh out loud. I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious. Now, when I'm on the little spinning platform and you pull out the shrink ray gun, I'm going to scream like they do in the movies.
The shrink ray gun is right up there.
That was awesome.
Dr. Mini, sorry, I almost called you by your top secret name.
Yes.
When I saw you holding the gun, the first time I saw the video, I thought you were going to shoot yourself with it and shrink yourself.
That would be a good sequel.
I like the maniacal laugh that went on and on and on.
Yeah, I've been practicing that.
That was good.
Just a bit of fun. Well, I have to give a shout out to my 17-year-old son, who is just graduating from high school in a filmmaking program. And he's just been accepted to one of the local universities to take film. And
Nice.
that was his work. So we worked on the script together. And Benjamin, my son, my soon-to-be university student son, did all the editing on that. And film is really big here in Toronto, Netflix and Amazon, and there's a lot of film activity. So he wants to be an editor, and I think that's a really great little father-son project we worked on together.
Yeah, that was cool.
Did a good job with it.
That was good. And now I'm always going to picture you going, ha, 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 ha. Like,
Well, I'll do that when I shrink you, Michelle.
Okay, we have to do
I
it
will
old
laugh
school.
maniacally every time I shrink someone at the show.
I know someone who's going to be there that might even have a camera handy for something like that.
Watch us be. Except I'm not supposed to move, and I'm going to want to go,
Well, you know, it's really a lot of fun, and I mean, I think that's one of the things we did the scanning at Timonium, and then we did the scanning again at Amherst, and it's just so much fun. I mean, whether you're getting scanned or whether you're just watching, it's really a hoot. And well, you were there, Michelle. You saw.
Well, yeah,
it.
the whole weekend I watched the crowds around your booth just having so much fun.
Oh my gosh,
And I
it's
was
so
in
much
them
fun. So,
sometimes.
I wanted to produce a little something. John, actually, this is all John's fault. John, Rocky Mountain John, because you sent out an email a couple days ago saying that you were looking for video content.
Yep.
So I started thinking, okay, video. I'm not going to just put a picture of me sitting, in front of my computer going, you should come and get scanned. So it's really, John, it's your call for video content that sort of started this whole crazy thing off.
Thank you. And when I saw it, I was fortunately not drinking coffee. So yeah.
That's hilarious.
And
I'm excited. I'm going to share this out, and it's going to be so much fun. The Rocky Mountain Train Show is just one of my favorite events, and it's just fun. John Garberg and I got to talk about it on a podcast, and I talked about it as being a family reunion with only good family, like the good kind of family reunion.
Yeah, they could all be like that, right?
Well, if you don't like them, shrink them.
Yeah, if we don't like them, we'll just take them to MiniPrints and shrink them down, and then we'll just hide them in somebody's layout.
I think Jeff Pierce just came out with the perfect tagline for the Rocky Mountain Train Show.
Right.
Just
We may. I'll have to use that tonight. So
That's
if you're coming to the train show, we still have a few openings on Saturday and quite a few openings to get scanned on Sunday. And I'll let Bernard talk more about that process. So,
and I think I get scanned at some point. I don't know if we picked the time, but we'll make it a public time. And you guys can all come and laugh at me get scanned.
All three of you are getting scanned at some time. Oh,
John's getting scanned too?
Oh, everyone's getting scanned.
Wait,
I'll have to get that filed out, like you said, Bernard.
Well, body sculpting comes at an additional fee.
Oh, how much? I'll get the checkbook out.
Yeah, hold on. I got a credit card.
I was laughing. I've been telling people, I'm like, I thought I had a whole year to look better for my being immortalized in plastic. But then Bernard's like, oh yeah, I can come this year. And I'm like, really? Are you sure? Maybe you shouldn't come this year.
Michelle, do it twice, before and after. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it before and after. Well, I have to do two, Bernard. I thought about this later. So I wanted mine to be, because I think everybody knows me as the girl who's always out there with her cell phone watching trains. So I'm thinking I should be this, right?
Yep.
But to put me in the layout at the museum, it has to be 1975. So what the heck am I holding in 1975?
And that's
Pop-Tart.
A Pop-Tart? I'm the girl who stares at her Pop-Tart.
You're staring at a pad of paper.
So we'll have to come up with something, or I have to get scanned again. So let's get
No.
scanned again. Maybe
No,
Amherst.
just get an old school camera.
Yeah, we can digitally manipulate it. We can turn it into an instant camera. Yeah, exactly.
Like a camera.
Sydney,
See?
yeah, we were thinking the exact same thing. Exactly.
I guess I could hold an actual old school camera instead of my cell phone, but it's my cell phone and that's what I do. And so, yeah, I thought about that the other day though. I was like, I gotta figure out this 1975 aspect of this pose.
Looks like our top secret co-producer has a fan out here. Oh, it's Dave.
Mini Sydney.
Sparky.
Yeah.
Well, I have a little presentation later that we can fire up, and actually Sparky is in the presentation, as are you, Michelle.
I'm in your presentation?
You're in my presentation.
I didn't break
Well,
it?
I wasn't going to do a presentation, but then TSG John said I needed a presentation.
Ah, okay. So you had to be professional. You're wearing a tie, so you have to have a presentation.
I think this is the first time I've worn a tie in probably 4 or 5 years. This is like a pre-COVID tie.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like it though. Dr. Minnie's a good look. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Dr. Minnie might make an appearance beyond tonight.
I wasn't expecting a desaturated black and white Dr. Minnie today. I was expecting a Bernard.
He's coming from the past into the future.
I am.
Because he's such a good mad scientist. He's found a way.
Well, I have 2 really interesting stories that I think are interesting anyway. I watched a lot of B-movie trailers before putting this together, and I'd forgotten how much I really enjoy B-movies. And it's really interesting because a lot of the B-movies from the 1950s are public domain now. So you can just go on and watch them. Like if you just type in like B-movie 1950s, it's amazing the number that are just out there to be watched. And they're really, really, really bad and really good. Like they're so bad, they're good.
Yeah, they're fun, man.
They really are. So I'm going to encourage everyone to go watch a B movie today. But the other thing that's kind of interesting is I knew I needed a script and I didn't know where to start. So have you guys ever heard of or played with Chat GPT?
I know what it is, but I haven't played with it.
So I went into Chat GPT and I said, write me a 1950s B movie trailer about a mad scientist with a shrink ray. And it wrote the script. Now, obviously, it was a starting point, so it got me, 50% of the way there. But I used Chat GPT to write the 1950s B movie trailer script, and it did a really good job.
This is the new AI software that everybody's talking about. This is the
and
new
it
AI
is
stuff.
It is scary. It is really good. Yeah, it started off the script for the movie.
That's interesting.
It really is interesting, actually.
Maybe it'll write my next presentation for me.
Exactly.
Just kidding.
It's fascinating.
The scary thing, Michelle, is that it probably could, and it would probably sound pretty plausible, whatever it writes.
Whatever it came up with.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the first time I played with it. I'd heard about it, but I hadn't actually sort of tried it until I gave it this assignment. And I was kind of mixed emotions because I was kind of amazed and happy, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know whether I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because the guys back who created it are going,
Exactly.
Good one, John.
Yeah, the actual AI guys probably are doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
or worse, it's the AI that wrote the AI.
Or maybe we're all just AI.
Yeah. Could explain a lot.
Yeah.
We're all copper tops. Oh, it's a Matrix reference.
So Rocky Mountain Train Show. I'm going to get us back on topic because we're all over the place.
So,
UP Steam is coming, and Ed Dickens he said what he's going to talk about. So I thought we would share that too, so people that are coming can be excited about this because I think it'll be really interesting. In the past, he's always talked about getting the big boy ready, and then he talked about the process of going through that, and then after a few runs, he talked about what it's like to be out on the road. And so last year, it was like, what is it? what is it like to service the locomotive while you're out on a big excursion and things like that. Well, this year he's going to talk about what they called the hospital train. That's like what we say about it. It was actually an official move from Cheyenne to Silvis to the, I'm going to mess up the name, the Railroad Heritage Museum of Midwest America. Does that sound right?
Something like that.
We all know it as Silvis. It's the old Rock Island shops. And the Challenger 3985 and the 5511 locomotive were pushed out there because neither one are run, right? So they had to get them to the point where they could actually push them. And so Ed's going to tell the story of this. It was freezing cold the whole time. There were all kinds of things that happened, went wrong, things that went good. They had GoPro cameras on the locomotives. So it should be very interesting footage to see them. So I'm really excited to see what Ed presents. It's always interesting. Whatever he does is always really, I'm always like really enthralled every time. Even though I've heard him speak hundreds of times, even if he's talking the same thing, it's always interesting. And so I'm excited about this. So, and most people don't realize this, it's completely free with your ticket to the train show. So, okay, John, did I do a good enough commercial?
Yep.
Okay, so so basically, and Ed will be speaking in the same location he was last year. That's the NW Club on the first level of the National Western Complex on the west end in the Hall of Education West. So follow the signs. There are going to be 2 or 3 other presentations in that room as well, both Saturday and Sunday. This year, we're bringing back clinics and other presentations. Some are going to be hosted by the Rocky Mountain region of the NMRA, and others are people who have volunteered to give clinics. And those will be located upstairs in the Hall of the West, which is a new area that we're renting for the show. That will be Saturday only due to the cost of renting that room. See what else. So basically, since the last time we talked, we've sold even more tables and more booths and gotten a few more layouts to come to the show. So now we're at 80 vendors, 30 manufacturers, 15 historical societies, museums, and other nonprofits, including the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts. Let's see what else. So, and right now in the other room, I am putting together all the badges, and it's like 180 packets we have to put together to get to everybody in the next week.
And how many layouts, John? Did you say how many layouts? Did I miss it?
30 layouts.
30 layouts.
30 operating layouts.
That's huge. Jeez.
And they run and scale from, I'm gonna get this, actually let me see if I can it up. It's probably gonna go, yeah, let me go back over here. So it goes from Z scale up to, I have to cheat, to 7.5 and 4.5 inch gauge or track. So basically ride-on trains. You won't be able to ride on them, but you can come and check them out. Those are actually presented by the Colorado Live Steamers, who have a facility where they run their trains out on the plains of Colorado.
And there's a layout coming that I just love because I'm on it. So there's a man named Doug Gary, and he's from Albuquerque, and he made Disneyland in, what is it, John, like the early 70s, maybe?
Early 70s, I think.
Yeah, like early 70s. And I told him, I said, I went to Disneyland in the early 70s, and there's this picture of me in Donald Duck overalls and my little pigtails, and I'm all shy because Pluto's right there, and I'm all me. And so he made a little tiny me, and it's an N-scale layout, and I am in line for the Dumbo ride on his layout. And so in my little overalls, so you've got to go see this layout. All the rides work. It is so cool. Like the Dumbo ride works and the teacups, and he has the Star Trek ride. Remember when Disneyland had Star Trek? And then he's got all the different things and the Jungle Cruise, and it's so cool. So anyway, you have to find it. And you know what, Bernard? It's like right by you. So I think it's just around the wall.
Actually, no, it's right down. It's 20
down
feet.
the wall.
Yep.
So
I'm so looking forward to this because, I mean, there's so many firsts. I've never been to Colorado, which is going to be fun. Never met John, TSG John. Well, both Johns, but TSG John. I was on what, year and a half, 2 years ago. Like
almost 2 years, I think. Yeah.
So it'll be fun to finally meet you and you, John, both Johns. Michelle, I think we've got a few things planned, a few secrets.
I have planned this time.
Exactly. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a fantastic show. And I saw someone, I think Sparky mentioned it, but John, I'm hearing that this is the biggest show west of the Mississippi.
Yes. It's with the new area we've rented, it's now gone up to about 180,000 square feet. So make sure you wear comfortable shoes.
So this is going to be how long until you take over from Amherst?
Not planning to. It's not a competition.
No, but
this is a big show
in both parts of the country. It's funny because they're actually friends.
Well,
I know people think they compete, but they're actually really good friends.
Yeah, so the idea it's not a competition, it's cooperation.
Yeah.
And that's why we were actually up in Springfield at the Amherst show. And at that show, my son and I walked 14 miles while we were promoting our show and meeting great people like Bernard and many of the other vendors and manufacturers. That show has 350 exhibitors, manufacturers, layouts, all combined. It's we're about 2/3 the size of that show right now. And again, it's not a competition. Every person who runs a train show just wants to have a great train show and make sure it's great for not only the attendees but the people who are there participating. So we had a question.
I want to answer that. Can you answer that question about Union Station before we forget?
Yep. So I think it was Bradley. I didn't catch that. So Bradley Ogden. So yeah, it's 3.5 miles from Union Station. Or if you're at Union Station, you can hop on the N line, and it's the first stop.
Yeah, you just take the light rail.
Yeah, you can take the light rail. You can take the train to the train show, and it's about a 10 to 15 minute. Hey, there's Adam. Hey, Adam.
Adam might be running your train.
Yeah, Adam knows more about RTD than we do. So basically, it's about a 10-minute walk from the station. You're actually going to be on the campus of the National Western Complex when you get off the train. And then it's a 10-minute walk to the front doors of our show.
And you can rope in that entire walk.
And Adam is getting scanned.
And you can get scanned.
And so the other thing is, so RTD will actually have a booth at our show. So you can ask some questions about RTD and the N-Line and what their plans are for the future.
And if you fly into Denver for this show, you just take the A line to Union Station, get a hotel, get on the N line, go to the show. It's great. This is probably the first show in the West to have rail service because we're not the East Coast. You got to rent a car out here.
I was going to say it's ironic because when we come out there, you always have to have a car. The only way you don't have to have a car is if you're flying to Denver International, and the only place you have to go is into Denver proper. Otherwise, you got to get a car.
You have to have a car because everything out here is 60 miles away.
Yep.
And actually, so what you can do is if you're flying in, you can fly into DIA, take the A line to Union Station, and take the N line to the show. Now, obviously, you'd probably want to get a hotel either downtown or near one of the RTD stations, and you'd have to call the different hotels to figure out which ones can either shuttle you to the RTD station or if there's one that's walking distance. So,
yep.
So more information about the show. So basically, tickets cost. You can get tickets for $10 locally at Colpar Hobbies and there's two of those stores, one in Lakewood, one in Aurora, and then there's Rocky Mountain Train Supply in Arvado. You can also get $10 tickets. Regularly or at the door, tickets are $13. And you can buy packets of tickets by visiting our website, RockyMountainTrainShow.com. Click on buy tickets, and then you'll have all the ticket purchasing options. If you're a first responder or a veteran, you can get your tickets through VetTix. This year, we've donated 500 tickets, or about a little over $5,000 worth of tickets to VetTix. That's one of the things we pride ourselves on is giving to nonprofits. This show alone, we're probably donating around $8,000 to $10,000 in tickets through organizations like VetTix, the Ronald McDonald House, Make-A-Wish, Children's Hospital. So what else? Basically any organization, Brewability, Pizzability. So if you're in Denver and you want to support a great organization, go to Brewability, Pizzability, and get some pizza. Let's see what else. Who else do we give to? We see Boys and Girls Club. Did I mention them? So
I think it's pretty cool that you're able to keep the prices so low, especially considering how big of a show it is.
Well, it's an effort, and that's one of the things we've always tried to do is keep our prices reasonable. From 2016 to 2020, the ticket price was $10 when we were at the Denver Mart, and by now we would have been up to $12. But the Denver Mart is no more. Again, we're at the National Western Complex, and if you're familiar with that facility, generally you have to pay for parking. Well, when you buy your $13 ticket, you're done. Or when you buy your ticket to the show, no matter what you paid for it, you're done. That's it. You drive onto National Western, you find a parking spot, you come to the show. Parking is free.
And I have to, John's not going to say it, so I'm going to say it. I have to give kudos to Rocky Mountain TCA because they negotiated this deal and they actually don't make the money on the parking gets paid for and they're paying for it. And they took it on to make the chain show affordable. And I want to give them kudos for it because John's super humble and won't do it.
Well, let's tell people what TCA is, because it's an acronym that you guys know, but probably not everybody watching does.
All right.
Yeah, and it's really different for a train show. Yeah. Go ahead, John.
So first of all, it's not just us. The Rocky Mountain region of the NMRA is also a co-sponsor of the show. So TCA is the Train Collectors Association. Generally, when people think about the TCA, they think about pre and post-war trains, 10-plate, Lionel. That's what comes to mind.
Lionel. It's the Lionel.
That's predominantly what members of the TCA collect, as well as MTH and Atlas O scale 3-rail.
So it's Train Collectors
Association.
Association.
Okay.
And it's
to be
based in
honest,
Strasburg, Pennsylvania, and they have a museum there. So if you ever go to ride the Strasburg Railroad, the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania, make sure you go to the TCA headquarters and see their museum. It's really interesting. I actually went.
And I'll be honest, anyone who collects trains knows, when we talk about TCA, we also call it Train Collectors Anonymous.
I had heard that one.
Yeah, right. Everybody's laughing because we know exactly what that means.
But this show is joint partnered between the Lionel people and the scale model people. So we got the NMRA and the TCA working together to put on this show and give us free parking, which is amazing because it takes an hour if you got to pay for parking. It takes forever because you'll get into the show late and it's just frustrating. So thank you, John. They're putting your work into that.
It's for the people.
There's
that
sounds like a politician.
All y'all did a great job because we don't have to pay for that.
There's something to be said too, and I want to mention this because I think it's pretty cool, and I think it goes to your attitude, John, that it's not a competition, right? So why shouldn't the NMRA be able to work with the TCA? I mean, they're all model trains to some degree, and they all get people interested in trains one way or the other, right? So I think that's great.
You know what else I like about the Rocky Mountain Train Show that's different than the National Train Show? And Amherst is this way too. You got all your manufacturers, so you get to see the cool product, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. But you also have used product to buy because a lot of the train shows just don't have a whole lot of used product anymore. And so it's fun. You got everything.
And there's nothing better than finding a table of bargains that you can take home and practice weathering on.
Exactly.
That's what I did.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, buy cheap stuff so that you don't ruin
it's important to us, especially me, this girl who is going to screw something up a few times. So, yeah, I have to look for that stuff.
Yeah.
So what we try to do is for the show, it's intended for kids 2-3 years old who are playing with their very first wooden Thomas the Tank Engine to the the older gentlemen, or actually I guess even in their 30s and up, who are the rivet counting foamers who have not only have a layout in their basement that's a particular era, but maybe even a particular year within that era.
Or day.
Or day.
I've seen them.
and the whole idea is, and it's supposed to be, the show is supposed to be a platform for everyone who's in the hobby or interested in railroading. And as Sydney is mentioning, and the ladies. So, and speaking of which, Michelle Kemp is part of this other group. It's the Women in Model Railroading Special Interest Group. And we'll have quite a few folks from that organization there, like Michelle,
right?
And, Cynthia Priest and Nancy Workman, and
we're actually all going to be on site. I'm sure we're going to do some sort of Women in Model Railroading gathering at this show, probably maybe cookies again or something. And I haven't picked the time, and I'll probably 3 o'clock on Saturday. We're pretty good at Amherst, so it's probably gonna be 3 o'clock on Saturday.
And don't
we'll probably do it at
the don't forget that one too.
Sydney's there. Of course she's there. Sorry.
She's a co-founder.
And Sydney.
So literally everybody, the entire steering committee for Women in Model Railroading except Christina is gonna be there. So that's pretty amazing that we're all gonna be there.
Do you know what's really amazing is that Sydney's also an award-winning member. She won the Dr. Mini
Mini
contest of the peanut butter jar lids.
That's right. She did.
Right?
That's right.
I won a contest once too. I won the Martin Jenkins Award for looking like this. If you guys don't know what that is, Modeler's Life ran a competition for who could best imitate Martin Jenkins with his, and I won it.
Did you know that you can buy a mini me Martin Jenkins?
That's right.
Yeah,
I'll have to get one and put it with my award, which turned out to be a picture of Martin doing that.
So, hey, John, did you get the PDF I sent you?
I have wait a minute. The only thing I have is this. I'll bring it up and you can tell me if this is it. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I thought I uploaded it a little bit ago. Did
you send it to me via email or what?
I thought I uploaded it through the software.
Maybe you did. I'm not seeing.
These are from last year.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, John. Could you try that again and we'll see if it comes up?
If not, I'll share my screen.
Okay. You can just share your screen. That's fine too. In the meantime, I'll leave this up because this is relevant. This is what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So while John's getting ready to share his screen, I'll mention that, Michelle,
you put up to 2. I'm getting a warning. It says, as a guest user, I can upload up to 2 slide decks. Please log in or sign up for free upload too.
I don't know what that is.
I think we're 2 weeks away from my flight.
That sounds about right.
I fly out on the 29th.
I do too.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks away.
I picked all y'all up at the airport.
It's coming up fast, Doc.
It is. Great Scott.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be on the next video, Michelle.
Actually, as I was watching that video, I was like, oh my God, Bernard's the other person that will ham it up as much as me.
You got to have fun with it. You know, MiniPrints is really known for the odd, the different. I mean, there are a lot of people out there that can come up with, cinder blocks or propane tanks or things like that. And yes, we have cinder blocks. Yes, we have propane tanks. But Michelle.
I know.
Being a MiniPrints of the Month Club subscriber.
I know. So I'm a MiniPrints of the Month subscriber.
You are. And you know what we are up to.
What is this, Michelle? I just made you big. You got to finish now.
Of the Month Club, and you receive this box in the mail. And I'm going to open this box and show you what's inside. And this one cracked me up. This is January, and we got really cool Clydesdale horses. And everybody needs a snowmobile for their layout, which is really cool. And this one is one of the dogs that have the barrels, like a St. Bernard baby. And there's a human in here. And some sleds for kids because it's snowing, right? And who is this mini-me? This is somebody, and I'm not remembering him.
Hold it up. Oh, yeah, that's Paul. Paul
Paul. But I got a bonus that you didn't know about. I got a Zamboni.
That could only come from a Canadian hoser, eh?
How cool is that? And then I gotta find the one the month before because he was afraid my people were gonna be cold. And so in this one, he wanted to make sure, because Bernard sends you a note, and he wanted to make sure that your HO scale people weren't cold. So he sent a hot tub for your people.
That's right.
And then there's Christmas stuff and like a snowman and a Santa and a chimney. And then this month we got the people. We got the looking off the edge people, didn't we?
Oh, we had one of them on our thumbnal this month.
That's right. You had him hanging from the Rocky Mountain logo.
Yeah.
Yes. And that guy's in my month. So I haven't cut him out. This is the
Are you not going to show the X-ray?
There's the hanging guy.
I can't really tell what that is. Show it again, Michelle.
Because he didn't. Let me hold it correctly. I don't know if you can see because I haven't cut out the sprue parts yet.
What's hanging off the front of him there?
Well, that's where he's connected to the printer. Don't let your brain go there.
I thought
you have to cut the little support off, but he's the guy that hangs off the edge of your layout. I don't know if it'll focus. And then this guy right here looks off the edge of your layout. See, I don't know if you can see, but see, Bernard, they're more stable, like to send them this way, right, Bernard? So I have to cut them
Michelle, the person on the end there looking over the layout on his hands and knees.
This one,
so the one on the very end there. That's my 14-year-old son, Max. So I scanned him.
Oh, that's so cool. I wish it would focus on that.
That's Max right there. I've got some pictures in the presentation that I'll show that you can
see. Oh, okay. Yeah. And then there's another. So, I mean, okay. So I'm going to do Bernard's spiel. Okay. So I joined Mini Prints of the Month box, and this box is only $29 a month. And look how many figures I got.
That's a lot more than what you could buy for $29.
Exactly. And that includes shipping from Canada. So, and then there's these little guys on the end. Woo!
Geez, Bernard, no, you can only afford a black and white camera this month. You spent all your money on shipping.
We offer 1950s prices.
They do offer 1950s prices. Awesome. But I keep having my little box. So I actually have been painting owls that I ordered separately from you, Bernard. I also have a mini Lionel Strang here from a long time ago. But I have had a lot of fun with your Mini Prints of the Month box.
And the Mini Prints of the Month Club subscribers, I have to say thank you to them because you're the fans, you're the most sort of loyal, most important. Adam is a Mini Prints of the Month Club as well. You might want to throw up his comment there. And I'm thrilled because Adam is not only a Mini Print of the Month Club subscriber, but I'm going to get to meet him for the first time and scan him. So that's awesome. The most fun. That's why I really enjoy going to these shows is meeting customers and, talking to people. It really is the people in the hobby that make it what it is. But with the Mini Prints of the Month Club, it's kind of they get everything first and they get everything sort of unique, special sort of things that other people don't get. And there are things that I've sort of sent out to the Mini Prints of the Month Club subscribers, that I just won't release to the sort of the public. So it tends to be the sort of the weird, the wonderful, the exclusive. They certainly get to see everything before. Michelle, and Adam, your March one went out last week. So you should be seeing that pretty much any day now. And I'm really excited. And I've already started working on April because I'm going to be away at the show for a week, I guess Wednesday to Monday. We've already started producing the April box in anticipation. And it's a lot of fun as well. I think it'll be.
Is there a bonus unexpected surprise?
There's always a bonus unexpected surprise. I mean, come on, look at me. I'm sitting here in black and white. Do you not expect an unexpected surprise? That's what Mini Prints is all about. Like I said, anybody can, come up with a skid, a paper on a skid. That's not Mini Prints. I mean, we'll do it, but Mini Prints is always that extra little bit of weird and wonderful.
I love it. You have a presentation. Should we do your presentation?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to.
Do you want to
Is
do
it
that?
time to let him roll?
Should we do it? John, I've got your PDF.
No. Let Bernard go
Bernard?
first.
I
No,
totally
dude.
hijacked John's PDF. I'm sorry.
No,
John,
let's
okay.
do John's PDF.
No. We got to do the presentation.
All right,
do
all right.
the presentation.
Yeah, we'll do the presentation.
Okay.
There it is.
All right. Do you
Hey, that
know
looks
that
familiar.
it's been? Now, I looked up. We did have a little chat last May. It was a brief update.
Mhm.
But really, this presentation was a long time ago. It was almost 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And a lot has changed in those 2 years. For example, I moved into a new commercial space. So I think when we last spoke,
Oh,
so the first presentation was me with 4 printers in my basement.
Right.
And we are now in a commercial space. This is my glorious 350 square feet that Gordy Robinson of the NMRA dubbed Miniature Printerland. I'm up to 8 printers with another 3 or 4 in the background.
Wow.
And this is where I'm speaking to you from right now. And the interesting thing about this space, and it's kind of fun because I'm in an old building, and this is a picture of it in 1913, so 110 years ago. And if you look, so I'm in the building that says the Bodden Machine Company. And if you look in front of the building next door to me, you will see a Grand Trunk boxcar.
Mhm.
So
okay.
this is a very old part of Toronto that was rail served, and it's kind of neat to be, in that type of industrial, 19th century or I guess 20th century industrial architecture. So it's a great space.
Do you know what I'm noticing?
What are you noticing?
Those look like those Tyco pipe loads in the foreground to the right there.
Well, we're going back in time. That's the theme of this presentation. So I'm not
I was going to
surprised.
say, when you go in your building, is the world just black and white?
It is. I'm actually coming to you from if you put me up on screen with my presentation, John.
Sure.
Well, there you go. So this is everything in this building appears in black and white. So if you walked in here, it's kind of like, what's that movie, Pleasantville? Do you remember that movie?
Yeah, we'd all be black and white.
We'd all be black and white. Exactly. This is the building. It's an old industrial building. And I don't know whether you guys have checked it out, but my landlord was very kind and he let me put a camera on the side of the building because there are tracks that run right behind our building. And so we have some really great passenger rail traffic. Unfortunately, it's not freight, but I can sit in my studio and rail fan all day long because we get the commuter, the GO Transit commuter rail behind us. And then twice a week, every Wednesday morning and every Sunday morning, we get Via Rails, the Canadian, which is our transcontinental passenger train from Toronto to Vancouver. So it's the one sort of named train that we have here.
I see your Sunday morning YouTube or Facebook Live to watch this train.
It's really fun to watch. I mean, it's a pretty spectacular train. I mean, there are not a lot of trains like that left. And one day I hope to be on it.
You haven't ridden this train yet?
I've never, whoops, you've seen that already. No, I've never been on it. It's ridiculously expensive, Michelle. It's my wife and I looked at it, but to get a cabin for the two of us to go to Vancouver, which is I think a 4-day train ride, is something like $7,000 or $8,000 Canadian, and that's that's with a 40% discount. But then once you get to Vancouver, it's a one-way ticket. So in addition to the $7,000 or $8,000, you got to come back. Exactly. I told you you'd be in the presentation along with a few other friends of the channel. I think you recognize a few of these folks, John.
I think they've all been on this show at one point or another.
I think they have. And Keith was on when I was on in May with the update. And Sparky's going to feature very prominently in this presentation in a minute. And I know that he's been on many times before. And
I had to find Bernard and take a selfie.
Yeah, didn't Sparky help you at at one of those shows too?
Well, and this is it. I mean, I couldn't. These pictures were all taken at the Amherst show, which will become You'll see why in a moment why I included them. But Sparky has been my right-hand man at both the Timonium show, where I started scanning in October, and then the Springfield show. And the timing just didn't work, but I want to do a shout out to Sparky, because about a month after the train show is the meet and greet. And you guys are doing the meet and greet with Sparky. There you go.
Right. Yep.
You have to strip down a bit, John, because there you go. Show us. There you go. That's better.
Yeah, you can tell I saved my moves for in the dark.
Yeah. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to come out twice, but I'm gonna do the train show. But if you miss the train show, there'll be the Sparky event, a month later. But yeah, big shout out to Sparky and Heath, who helped me at Amherst. And really, Amherst, so Timonium was the practice run. Amherst was kind of the main attraction where I perfected it. And now we've got it like a fine oiled machine. Everything is running smoothly for Rocky Mountain. And when this is a little shot of us at the Amherst show, scanning John Sacradotti, and I think Sparky put up a video of that earlier, and that's the image that we were able to capture as a 3D mini print, and we did over 60, close to 70 scans at that show. So
I see Martin.
You can, no matter how small these are, you can pretty much identify people just by the profile. It's amazing the detail that you're able to capture.
I see Jordan and his fiance. Yeah.
I think you can see. I don't know if you can see
and Frank and Jasmine Trokia. I see them.
Yeah. Do you see? Can you see my cursor on the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, I see Gordy.
So you see who that is? Yeah.
You can tell because he's holding a pint.
That's right. That's right. And that brings me to the Rocky Mountain Train Show, because as you mentioned, we are doing a scanning there on the 1st and the 2nd. The 1st is almost sold out. So we have, I believe, there are 20 spots per day, and there are 16 sold and 4 available on the Saturday. So Saturday is pretty much booked out with 4 spots left. On the Sunday, it's the opposite. So for some reason, the Sunday we've booked 2 scans and 18 are available. So if anyone is going to be at the show on Sunday and does want to get scanned, Sunday's definitely the day to do it. And you can sign up online in advance, book a spot, just by going to miniprints.com and then typing in RMTS, Rocky Mountain Train Show. So I put the URL on the screen.
That's awesome. I think you're new to our region and people aren't going to understand yet. And I think when you get to the show, everybody's going to want to get scanned.
Yeah, I think so too. And even if you don't get scanned, still come by and watch, because it is so much fun. Like it's absolutely a hoot just to watch people get scanned and to heckle, and it's just a really fun thing to do or see.
And I thought your price was great, and then I realized that was the Canadian price. That's even better.
Well, and and so there are 2 prices. It's a $115 or Canadian, but I think it's $89.99 US, and that gets you 5 different actual figures. And I've said that I'd like them to all be in the same scale, so it's easier if they're all in the same scale. But if you want, if you're an HO scale model and you want 4 in HO and 1 in O scale, just because you want a bigger one, that's okay too. So I'm flexible on that. And these are some of the scans, as I say. And if you want to check them out, so if you want to sort of just, if you are interested in it and you want to see the types of scans or the quality or whatever, on the MiniPrints page, there's a section called Mini-Me's. We're calling these Mini-Me's. So if you want to sort of just get a sense of what it looks like or see what other people have done, you can go to the Mini-Me section and you'll see a whole bunch of different poses. And Dave, no, Michelle did not get scanned yet. And that is actually one of the reasons that I'm going to Denver is to scan Michelle.
I told him I had to be scanned in my homeland.
She wouldn't let me. Michelle literally
Michelle.
would not let me do it. I'm like, "You're here. I'm here. It's Amherst. We're in Springfield." And she's like, "No. If you're scanning me in Colorado." I'm like, "I guess I'm going to Colorado."
She's the queen of the mountain. Queen of the mountain people.
Yeah, I guess you literally are on the Colorado Chamber of Commerce, aren't you?
Oh, probably, yeah.
You are like
I'm
getting
on the
people-
tourism board. I said on the state
tourist
board.
board. There you go. There you go.
So you have to come to Colorado. Yeah, because I wanted it to be like special. I'm really weird about stuff like that. I want it to be special. So I'm like,
I love
you have
it.
to come see where I'm at.
I am so looking forward to it. Here's some more of the poses. You can see some folks that you might recognize. And the fun thing about the scans too is that when we do a scan, I say, one of the questions I have is, are you okay if we list this on the site? So these are all people who got scanned, but then said, I'm okay to be a mini-me. So you can actually go onto the mini-me site and add these people to your layout. And there's some amazing poses that people came up with.
Really unique people for our layouts, honestly. If for any modeler, these are like real humans. And so they're going to be so much better than all of our little people that just stand there. And
it's really funny too. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I started off by creating people digitally there's a whole bunch of different softwares out there that you can do. And what I realized very quickly is that digitally created 3D people are too perfect and they're not realistic. They all look the same. And people have people aren't symmetrical, and people have wrinkles in their clothes. And there really is nothing that beats a real person.
Yeah, like look at the shirt on the guy in the lower right. There's wrinkles on his shirt that looks so real. And the conductor with the lantern.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And it comes out in HO. It's unbelievable. I mean, these things look amazing in O scale. I got a ton of them that I can hold up to the camera and you won't see. But it's amazing that they actually do translate into the smaller scales. Most of these all of them are also available in N scale. And I'm amazed that I'm able to get the detail in N scale and they still look like the person. This is what you were talking about, Michelle. And there are a few things that I've just started to do that are kind of fun. And I just wanted to show them really briefly. I'm going to wrap up pretty soon. But I get a giggle out of this because I was talking to someone about flat Earth, and I won't go into the whole flat Earth thing, but I realized very quickly that in my world, the Earth is not flat, but in my layouts world, it is. So it would be kind of fun to create a line of figures that are sort of like breaking that fourth wall. In movie and TV, they talk about the fourth wall. And, we create this sort of illusion of these perfect worlds, but then they, stop. So I created this line of figures called Don't Push Me Because I'm Close to the Edge. And these are the figures that you received, Michelle, in your last box.
Yeah.
And so it starts off with my friend Steve Duranix, who was also at the Amherst show. He's the first one there looking over the edge. And then you'll recognize the second figure, top row middle. That's Brat, my employee, who you saw being scanned in the video earlier on. And he's sort of looking out over the edge with his telescope. The third lady on the upper row is Laura. She's my neighbor next door, and she's a potter. And so I thought it would be fun to have her sort of sitting on the edge, dangling her feet over the edge. The bottom row, the first two are my friend Sarah. And I brought her into the studio and I said, okay, we're going to scan you for the close to the edge figures. If you were on the edge of the world, what would you do? And she said, well, the first thing I'd do is launch a paper airplane. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then she said, and I want to dump a body over the edge. I said, okay. I said, dumping a body might be a little dark even for MiniPrints, but how about a wheelbarrow? And then people can put whatever they want in the wheelbarrow.
I don't know. I mean, if you're a fan of Yellowstone,
There you go. So there's Sarah dumping a body. And then the last one is Paul, who you saw earlier. And Paul's taking a picture. Since then, I added 3 new figures. My son, Max, looking over the edge on his hands and knees, peering over. I thought, why not sort of lob a ball over the edge? If you're going to...
A cat knocking the glass off the edge would be perfect.
There you go. That's not a bad.
Cat in the glass.
And then my absolute favorite has to be the one that John, that you used for the Rocky Mountain Train Show logo, which is my friend Spencer just hanging off the edge of the layout. And all of these were like really fun to create.
The golf one's good too. I like that.
Yeah. So, and there are more coming. I mean, we keep coming up with ideas. So the other thing too is most of these things at MiniPrints are all user-generated content, like this next idea. You wouldn't believe the number of people that said, can you create roadkill? And I absolutely had no intention of doing this. I mean, I'm known for my animals. That's how the whole thing started. But people wanted realistic 3D roadkill. Because I guess it's, it's part of reality. I mean, if it exists in the real world, people want to put it on their layouts. So this is the other sort of dark hole that I've sort of gone down lately. I seem to be spending time on the edge and time with roadkill, including what they call a Southwest speed bump there. Although apparently I got it wrong. And when armadillos get hit, apparently they go like leg upwards. So one very kind modeler suggested that, maybe he go out and scan one for me. And I'm like, I don't know about that, but.
You're going to get a real scan.
We're going to get a real scan of an armadillo. So that's probably typical. I promised that I would sort of show Sparky here. And I want to talk a little bit about what's new. And I'm starting to play around with MiniPrints in color. And I'm not sure I'm there yet, but this is really the next thing. So I think in sort of the history of 3D and 3D printing, it kind of started off a couple of years ago with, creating 3D figures. Now I'm in sort of what I'll call phase 2, which is the live scanning, which I think is, that's where I'm having a lot of fun. But I think the real ultimate goal for me is going to be when we can start to scan in color and print out the figures in color. And this was a test that I did a couple of weeks ago. Sparky 107 came into the studio. Oh, did I say Heath? I meant Sparky if I said Heath. I apologize. But this is Sparky. And he came in and we did a scan. And we're getting close. I mean, I don't think we're there yet. I think I've got a little experimenting to do. I find that when you print out in color, these things look a little sort of fuzzy and a little shiny. And this is done on about an $80,000 machine, which I don't own. We're not there yet. I mean, this is sort of the next generation of technology. I think that we will get there. And this is sort of the next iteration of 3D printing. But I think it's a lot of fun to sort of see where the future is going to go and what's coming up as I sit here in black and white and talk about color. So the irony is not lost. But I'm going to try and do some scans in color at the show. So I'm going to scan everybody I scan at the Rocky Mountain Train Show. I'm going to scan in color, and then we'll see whether or not they want to be printed out in color and whether or not I'm able to do it. So this is sort of where I'm going with this whole thing.
But you can still make it print, like not color, just paintable easily.
Yeah, and right now I'm honestly having more success, and there's been a lot of discussion about this online. I can print it either way. Most prototypical craftsman quality sort of good modelers prefer to paint it themselves, because I think you're still getting better quality if you start with the 3D printed and then paint it. But it's kind of fun to sort of get a look at the future and see, what is possible. And certainly printing it out in color from 2-3 feet away is fantastic. But if you're doing macro photography, I'm not quite there yet. So that's kind of what's new in the world of MiniPrints, sort of scanning the sort of the hint of color coming down the line. There are two things that I wanted to conclude with. John, when I was last on with you, like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, I had just started my MiniPrints channel. Mm-hmm. I am now up to 797 subscribers. So I know that in your vast audience, you might have a few people that would like to subscribe. When I get to 1,000, I'm going to run a 20% off sale. So MiniPrints on YouTube is the place to sort of get news and information of what's new. So if there are people that would like to subscribe, please join me.
You do a regular show, don't you?
What's that?
Don't you do a regular show every month on a Wednesday?
First
or
Wednesday
Tuesday?
of every month. Sparky was very kind to give up his first Wednesday spot. And the first Wednesday of every month at this time slot, 7 p.m. Eastern, I usually premiere what's new. I'm known for doing mini print peanut butter lid challenges, which I know Sydney and Michelle have entered.
Well, mine's right here.
Show everyone.
I have it.
It's
I wonder
wonderful.
if I can. Yeah, let's make
Is this
that
the end
video.
of your presentation? Look, I made a. Okay, let's see if it'll focus. I did the Halloween one. So I have a skeleton, and I painted the coffin, and I painted the pumpkins, and I put the owl in the tree.
Fantastic.
It's a peanut butter jar lid.
And I'm going to do the next mini print lid challenge in May.
Nice.
So
It appeared my cat attacked it, by the way.
if I subscribe to Mini Prints, will he mention my name? Says Heath. Yes, Heath, I will mention your name over and over and over again.
So how long does it take to get scanned?
Probably about 5-10 minutes. It's really quick. I've got 15-minute time slots, but by the time you're in and out in 15 minutes, the actual scan's probably about 5 minutes. And you got to put my presentation up one more time, John.
Oops, I'm trying
Because
to.
the last time I was on, I just want to conclude with this. The last time I was on, that's just the website, miniprints.com. That's boring. Facebook and Instagram. The last time I was on, you made a joke that you were going to offer a 50% off for all mini print customers. I said, we can talk about that, but I pledged a year and a half ago to do a special deal for TSG subscribers. So this is something I have never, ever done before. So I'm turning 3. I know I look older, but I'm turning 3 on April 1st. So the 3-year anniversary of mini prints will be at the Rocky Mountain Train Show. So we'll have to do some cake or something. So I turned 3 on April 1st, April Fool's Day, but I have never in the 3-year history of mini prints offered free shipping. So I thought, just to try something new, if any order over $50 between now and Monday, March 20th, if you type the code word madness into the yeah, I couldn't spell so I had to go with madness. If you type the word madness in where it says discount code, I'm going to try a little free shipping offer. And that's so really cool. That is because you sort of razzed me last time. And so I wanted to do something special for your crowd.
I never did follow up on that. I should have really pressed you, but I forgot.
You forgot, but I didn't. I went and I rewatched our video last night and realized that I promised I'd do something unique and different.
Oh, that's really I'm glad you remembered.
I enjoyed that show, and I enjoyed this show. So
yeah, we should do another one of these days.
Yeah, another year and a half or two.
Had a lot of fun with that. I mean, it's been almost 2 years since you were on. So if you think of something you want to talk about, we can do it again. Was that the last slide? Can I make it go right now?
Yeah, it's over. I mean, there's no more. You don't want any more, do you?
I mean, if that's the last one, it's the last one, right? Oh man. So I'm curious about this. Now you said it takes 5 minutes. You said that you wanted to scan me?
Yeah.
I don't remember signing up for it. Did Sydney sign
look at that hair. Come on. That is iconic.
No, I got to get that colored or something or cut.
No, it's perfect.
Well, actually,
we're getting scanned, John. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, well, it'll
be
blue.
Here.
It'll be blue if you do that. Gym. But though, actually, I think probably. Well, I don't know. I guess we'd have to ask the viewers what they think about this. But I think my most recognizable look is my Chasing Trains look, where I have the hat. And I don't know how. right. I don't know how well hats show up or if they make it harder for the scan. I wasn't really planning to bring it, but I will if it would make it better.
Hats, glasses, props are always problematic. They're things that I usually have to add back in after the fact, but they're fine. I mean, we can do it. So, is it a standard ball cap or is it a sort of a crazy Indiana Jones hat?
It's a brimmed hat with the thing in the back to keep the sun off your neck.
I'll figure it out. I mean, there's always a way to do it. It's just how much time. So the interesting thing is the scan only takes about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, because I put you on a turntable and spin you around and then capture you with the scanner. But each scan then takes about an hour to 2 hours on work on the back end. So then I've got to bring it back, recreate it on the computer, clean it up, get it supported for printing, print it. So it's a very back end intensive process. So capturing the scan gets me about 80% there, but then it's that extra 20% of computer work that I need to do to sort of add in the details.
Okay. What about hair? Like, I was thinking about this too. Should I do like my Farrah hair, like the real Farrah hair, or is straight hair better?
The bigger the hair, the closer to God.
I'm gonna go all out with the 70s Farrah hair then. Yeah,
absolutely.
We're gonna do it.
I thought that was like a Texas saying.
Oh man.
Well, it's interesting because when you scan someone, it's kind of like the way I've sort of described it. It's a little bit like, when you go to the carnival and you get those caricature artists and they always exaggerate sort of one characteristic. And it's kind of like when you scan someone too, the best scans are the people who have something that's very recognizable. So that there's like one characteristic, like a part in your hair or just something where people go, oh, that's so-and-so. So if there's something that you're known for, I always try and exaggerate that in the scan because it makes it instantly recognizable.
Okay, that's cool.
So I'm in with the big hair.
I think we're going to have a vote or something on which train t-shirt I wear to be scanned.
Well, the t-shirt might not necessarily. That'll be up to they'll have to add. Now we can make a decal.
They'll have to add the stuff on it.
Exactly. We did that with when we scanned Lionel. So
yes,
Lionel Sprang was the very first commercially available 3D scanned mini, and we do that every year for his cancer charity. But then Mike Buddy came up with the idea of coming up with some logos. Exactly. So when you get your Lionel.
No. Oh, it won't focus. Oh, I almost had it.
I don't know if this will help, but no.
I don't know if it'll focus, but these are teeny tiny mod. Oh, it almost
had it for a second. Oh,
my camera. I'm sorry. And I don't know how to make it work.
Sometimes it helps if you hold your hand behind
get me back up.
Are those decals? Is that what
they're
they are?
Decals of the Modeler's Life logo.
Oh, I see.
That you can put, and we printed them out in all different scales, so you can actually apply the logo to the T-shirt on the 3D printed models. So,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
We can do that with
the rabbit hole.
Yeah, we could do that with the TSG logo too. I have all the high resolution artwork for that. That could be fun.
That's the next step. Is he starts selling little logos we can put on things.
Yeah, a Chasing Trains T-shirt. Michelle.
Yeah.
That could be really cool. Well, I'll tell you what, Bernard, I'll bring the hat and you can look at it. And if it looks like it's going to be too much pain in the rear end factor in your back end, pain in the back end, that's it. Then we'll just get rid of it. So,
or we do both. We try one with and one without, and we see which one looks better.
Sure. We'll figure it out.
So John Gardberg and I spent some time one evening figuring out where to put MiniPrints at the Rocky Mountain Train Show. Huh, John?
Oh my God.
And I'm like, you need a big space for people to stand around and watch. And so we moved your booth like 14 times on paper.
It wasn't 14. It's like 6 or 7.
That sounds like a great time to bring up that PDF you sent me.
Well, before we go there, I want to make a few announcements. So first is, this is new for this year and moving forward. Every year we're going to have a pin for our show.
Oh, cool.
Oh, look at that. That's
and this
cool.
is by Sundance Pins or Sundance Marketing.
Our cameras don't want to focus.
It looks like a Rio Grande logo. Is that what that is?
It's a Rio Grande logo. See if I can back it up.
You're having
So
the same
anyway,
problem Michelle was having.
I know it won't focus.
Yeah.
Put it in front of your face. Maybe it'll. No, in front of your face. Yeah, because it's focusing on your face. I think webcams are designed to
Webcams are
focus on
terrible.
faces.
So
This is terrible.
well, that's why you need to come to the show and see it in person. They're going to be $5 a piece. All the money after expenses will go directly into our nonprofit because we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and this will all go through our educational programs.
Cool.
So, and every year we'll have a new theme. This year we're going to be kind of light on tying in other things at the show to the theme. Starting next year, we're going to do a better job. All right. Next up is part of the coming to the show is door prizes. So you come to the show, you fill out a survey card that enters you into our door prize drawings. Every year we try to, well, except for last year and during COVID, we try to give away one ready-to-run set to a child 12 years of age or younger. Those are provided by the manufacturers and some of the vendors. This year we have Aunt Heidi's Toys out of Texas will be at the show, and they're donating a couple of battery-operated ready-to-run sets for smaller kids, as well as some, and we're going to have hopefully some wooden train sets as well for the small kids. LGB Marklin, Lionel, so I already said Lionel, a couple of the other manufacturers that have ready-to-run sets will be donating those. They're actually en route to us right now, or they'll be on being shipped with the manufacturer's stuff. On the for the modelers, we are starting to get door prizes like from True Color. So we're gonna have paints.
Oh, cool.
So,
Hey, John,
Yeah.
yes,
how come you didn't hit me up for a door prize?
you should have been on the email. Would you mind donating some door prizes?
I'd love to donate a door prize.
Thank you. And then from our
Little, really
backyard,
small.
please. And then Intermountain, which is located here in Colorado, they sent in their donations. So we have a couple of cars. So we have a gondola and I think it's a box. So that's HO scale, again from Intermountain. And they will have a booth at the show. And so here's some N scale. Sorry about the glare. I'll see if I can angle it differently. Cool. And now, let's see. I'm trying to balance things over here so they don't fall. And so show you the pen. All right, so let's actually, you know what? I'll make sure my screen. So let me try that. Screen sharing with 2 monitors.
Hey, John, were those videos that I sent you going to be used as door prizes, or is that in the goodie bags?
Actually, I'm sorry. Yeah, so TSG Multimedia. I should have the box, but it's like this big. It's really heavy because it's full of DVDs. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be giving away TSG Multimedia DVDs as well.
Cool.
So you'll have lots of entertainment value.
Yeah, I wasn't fishing for a recognition.
Well,
I was just trying to figure out if they were actually being used as door prizes.
They're downstairs with the other door prizes we've been getting, and they're heavy. I should have broken some out, so I apologize.
That's okay. I have some here I can show if people really want to see what it looks like. It's nothing too exciting.
All right, so let me see if I can share my screen. So present. Actually,
I see a comment that's funny from Adam.
Is it the third?
We need a 3D Lucifer.
Oh,
So-
that's that.
oh, that'd be
horse, right?
excellent.
Yeah.
That's the horse at the airport, Lucifer.
Yeah. Isn't
He's our
that the
demon horse.
Denver Broncos
No.
mascot horse? No.
No, he was designed by an artist to be this like, I don't know what he was thinking, but he's like blue, like a Bronco though, but he has glowing red eyes. And the day he was installed, he fell and killed the artist.
Are
So we
you
call him
serious?
Lucifer. You
Yes.
guys don't know the DIA stories?
No, you
Denver
told
International-
you
Denver
told me
International
about
Airport
Lucifer,
has-
but I didn't know it killed the guy. That's crazy.
They have so many conspiracy theories and things like that. It's just the creepiest airport.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me.
So Bernard, look for the gargoyles in baggage claim.
Or
They're there.
He'll show up. He'll see me. I don't know if we're flying in before you, Bernard, or after, but you'll see us in there and think we're the gargoyles.
I've started reading about like people who bring oxygen to Denver.
Oh,
yeah, they
right.
sell it in a can here if you want it.
Yeah.
But you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Drink water.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, it doesn't
The
affect
only time you
you.
worry is if you fly from living in Florida, right? Sea level. They fly to Denver. So we're at, 5,280 feet, 5,280 feet. We're mile high. And then they go to Breckenridge at 12,000 feet. So now you've gone 2 miles high and then they can't breathe. And that's just silly. So,
Right. Or even to Estes Park is what 8,000 or something?
yeah.
Even that's a little stretch. But anyway, let's bring this up here.
Okay.
All right. So it's a big show. The entrances to the show are on the east side of the building. There's a north entrance and a south entrance. I'd mentioned earlier that the Union Pacific presentation will be in the NW Club. That is all the way down here in this area of the show.
How many miles away is it?
It's a good walk.
I think it's 400 feet.
Oh, that's not that bad.
It's not
It's
that.
not bad. It's through 2 rooms.
But just imagine going up and down every aisle and then having to run around trying to find that perfect item for the right price, and then comparing it to the similar item, at someone else's booth, and then running back only to find out you should have bought it at the first one, but it's already been sold. Because
There's a rule about buying any railroad related stuff which is if you see something you want, you buy it because it won't be there when you go back.
Exactly.
Especially if you start over here and you're checking out stuff over here.
Yeah.
So, okay, and I'm going to zoom in. Let's start zooming in. So right now, this is like 50%. So, all right.
Oh, we can actually read it now.
Yes. Well, I want to show you how big the show was first. All right. So, clinics. So we have clinics and presentations upstairs as well. There's 2 stairwells. One is located here, and the other is, so like you would come into the building and turn right. The other stairs are here by the concession. So after you get your funnel cake and your Coca-Cola, you need to go up to the clinics. So we have 2 rooms that are dedicated to nothing but clinics all day long on Saturday. All right. So who's going to be at the show? Lots of folks. So we have the Forney Museum of Transportation will be located here. The TCA National booth will be located here. You have the Colorado Model Railroad Museum located here.
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
And look what he did. He put us right next to the Colorado Railroad Museum, so we can confuse people all day long.
I've heard of them too.
Well, we try to get the museums. We've tried putting museums out on their own, and they don't like it. Well, I should say this.
It's all
Michelle,
good. We all get along. And the Gold Spike Tower are some of my favorite people across the aisle, so I can make faces at them all day.
Yep. So Colorado Railroad Museum, Golden Spike Tower. So these are the folks who are at the Bailey Yard in North Platte.
Uh-huh.
And you should go check out their live cams because you can actually watch the Bailey Yard in action there. Tutwiler Gallery. Shout out to ESU. Jurgen's coming in from Germany for the show. They're going to have 2 booths over here. Broadway Limited is coming out of Florida. Their booth's being shipped in. Train Tracks out of Texas. Interesting company here. They have an RFID system so that you can actually track your trains on your layout like they do prototypically.
Very cool.
Inscale Depot. Intermountain will be located here. Again, thanks, guys, for the door prizes. San Juan Models will be here. Our largest local train-dedicated store, Rocky Mountain Train Supply, will be located right behind San Juan. NAFTA, they are a manufacturer out of Canada. They'll be at the show. Jacksonville Terminal Company will be at the show.
Yeah, they do a lot of great.
Yep, and they're great. They have really great containers.
Yeah.
Again, it's Jacksonville Terminal. Rapido, they're located here. Prairie Shadow will be located basically in the center of the show, down aisle D. Then you have Scale Trains. Lionel, Markland, LGB, Soundtracks, Bachman, Arrowhead out of Wyoming will be at the show.
Yeah, that's Blaine Hatfield.
Roca, Class 1 Models out of Texas. MacRail. I'm sorry, wait. Class 1's not out of Texas. Class 1 is
St. Louis.
Kansas City.
Kansas City. And Class 1 models that will include Cynthia Priest, who we had spoken about earlier. She will actually be here at the NMRA national booth as well. We have Macrail out of, okay, so Macrail and Home Shops are both out of Texas.
The question about food vendors, there's multiple restaurants in this building, but you can bring food in if you're hungry too.
You can bring food in if you bring in, it has to be Pepsi product. So
it has to be Pepsi product. Okay, good to know.
Are you serious?
But the food is actually good. There's a really good barbecue restaurant that we eat at. That's right across from my booth, back up at the top there.
Yep. So Berkshire model, Berkshire Valley models will also be at the show, along with Lowell Smith, who will be promoting both his products and rail tours. Model Train Solutions. So people ask about our show, and well, like, will there be new product at the show, or is it all used stuff? Our show has everything, like every other really great train show. You have the stuff that was previously loved, and then you have stuff that is you have items that are right off out of the factory. So Model Train Solutions is located here. They're out of California. Boy Scouts. So if you have a scout in your family and they want to earn the Railroad Merit Badge, that is one of the programs that Boy Scouts will be doing at the show. Going back up this way, you have Microtrains will be at the show as well. Katie, Athern. Yes, Athern did confirm, Michelle.
Okay, good.
The Rocky Mountain Region NMRA will be at the show. So what happens is for this organization sponsoring the show, the Rocky Mountain Region and the NMRA and the Rocky Mountain Division of the TCA, we'll both have our own booths, and then our national organizations are also in attendance, and they'll have a presence at the show as well. Rocky Mountaineer, they do rail getaways in both the United States and Canada. The team coming to our show represents both, but we actually have Rocky Mountaineer that leaves Union Station and goes to Utah and
goes to Moab. It's a fantastic 2-day train ride with stop in Glenwood Springs.
Right. Georgetown. So Georgetown Loop will also be attending the show. A new manufacturer, he wants to promote something he's designing, which is it's a new train track that doesn't require that doesn't require switches to switch tracks.
Huh.
Brad's Trains out of Texas will be at the show. We have a lot of people coming out of Texas for our show. Then, and people will ask, will Spring Creek be back? Yes, Spring Creek is located just south of the Roadhouse.
Do you see the steakhouse? That's the good restaurant.
Yep. And then we have Texas Model Train Company as attracts. We'd mentioned the TCA Deaccession, I think during the other show. Basically, museums who have inventory they need to sell, it's not just called selling, it's called deaccession. It's an official process. They'll have 4 booths located right across from, who's this again? Oh, yeah, MiniPrints.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Yeah, I heard it's an okay organization. So MiniPrints will be located here. So basically, to get to MiniPrints, you come in either the north or south door, make your way to the west side of the Hall of Education East, and that's where MiniPrints will be located. And as we mentioned earlier, they will be just 20 feet. Do attendees get a map? Why, yes, they do. And I have a copy of the
program's really nice, actually. It's printed by Cowcatcher Magazine.
Oh.
Yep.
They do. Tim Blackwell does the program. It's really nice.
Yeah, and I just moved all the programs from 2022 to a different room. We had like 15 left over. So we're going to have 3,000.
By MiniPrints is usually those good smelling nuts that are like candy coated. Is that by MiniPrints? Are we going to drive him crazy all weekend?
No. So they're located right. Where are they located? They're located right here.
Oh, okay.
I'm already
not so good. I'm glad they're not next to you, Bernard, because that's killer.
No, but so and then we have all right. So I'll get to the concessions in a minute because that's kind of interesting as well. So I mentioned these guys. You have MiniPrints. So MiniPrints, we had to give a large enough space where people could gather around from 2 or 3 different sides just to be able to see what's going on. Next to MiniPrints is and I don't have a map. It's
Otter Valley, right?
Otter Valley. Then next to Otter Valley is Buzz. who Michelle knows out of, where is he from?
Aren't they Canada? Bernard isn't Otter Valley.
Outer Valley.
Otter Valley is, yes, it's Lauren. It's a very good friend of mine, an amazing retailer who is launching a new line of fantastic models, and you're going to be amazed when you see them.
Oh, so Lauren is going to be there?
Lauren is going to be there with his brand new set of models. He's bringing out some new cars,
Cool.
prototypical modern freight cars, and I don't want to spoil his surprise, but he's got some amazing cars.
That'll be nice to meet him.
That's awesome. And then he is next to my friend Buzz from Albuquerque, who has they sell stuff for their show, and they have that Disney layout.
Right. So TCD session MiniPrints. The Disney layout is excellent. I don't want to spoil it by putting any pictures online of it, but you need to go check it out. It's really cool. Then we have the Denver area small scale steamers. They actually have I think it's G scale live steam trains.
Do they realize that their acronym has ass in it?
I don't think they care because they're too busy having fun with their model trains.
That was a great answer.
So, okay, then we have Choo Choo's Are Us out of Wyoming, Moffett Road Railroad Museum. We have 6 booths located here. SEK Hobbies, K&A Hobbies will be located here. Then we have Operation Lifesaver. And then we have a O-scale, Sergeant Schultz, who specializes in train repair, is located in this corner. Then Greg Anastopoulos out of California, who has lots of O-scale 3-rail, will be located in these tables over here. Denver Garden Railway Society, largest layout at the show at over 3,000 square feet. That's a G-scale layout.
Are they the same people that maintain the one at the Colorado Railroad Museum?
I think they
Yes,
are.
they are. It's the
Okay.
same group. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Jeff Lolo's group.
So, and then we have Denlug, which is a lug is a Lego user group.
Oh,
So we have Denlug and CalLug. Denlug is located at the north end of Hall of Education West. And then we have CalLug, which is located in the south section of that building.
Also, where Colorado Model Railroad Museum Lego train will be.
There you go. All right. We have Sherman Hill out of Wyoming. The Lego Duo, it's a brother and sister, have a Lego layout, which will be located here. Ziggly Junction's an O-scale 3-rail train that's built using the train in a box kits. Youth and Model Railroading. It's if you have kids and you want to get them into model railroading, check by this table and layout. They will also have a make and take model trees. And you have the Sunrise.
Oh, and Sunrise. That's Adam. Are you still on here, Adam? He's in that one.
Yeah, so you have Sunrise NMRA is located here, same location they were last year. Then we have this is not the Czechoslovakian Model Railroad Group. It's the Colorado Z Scale Model Railroad Group. Then we have the Centennial State, which is another O-scale 3-rail layout. Again, as I mentioned, CalLug. Then we have AS Home, which is is that Arizona?
It's the Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
Yeah. It's
Scale,
their HO scale.
model.
It's HO scale Albuquerque, guys.
cool.
Then we have slot car races. Then in the kids area, we have a company, Paper Pie. If you've been to our show before, it's Tricia Myers, and it includes like used-born books, toys, those kind of items. We have another company coming in called Train. I think it's Train Party, and they have like if you want to have a party with trains, they have all the stuff like for your kids. They have supplies for that.
Well, that's a cool idea.
Yep. Then our organization, I should have had bigger signage down here, but basically down in this area, we have Kid in a Cab where kids can play and run trains. We have the, I can barely read it. Then we're going to have where kids can color books and where kids can race trains as well. And I know I'm going fast, but again, it's a big show and I'll cover as much as I can, as quickly as I can. Colorado Fremont, first time at our show. Denver N-Track, Colorado Great Western, Kids Creek Railroad, which is an LCCA sponsored layout, will be at the show. Again, it's about working with other organizations. So there's the TCA, which we've mentioned, who's the host of the show, one of the hosts of the show. The LCCA is the Lionel Collectors Club of America. And again, they'll have one of their layouts will be at the show, along with representatives from their organization who will be located at the Lionel booth. Nearsighted narrow gaugers is an HON3 layout. Slick X is another O-scale 3-row layout. And then Colorado Rail Link, which is another one of the larger layouts. The longest layout will be the Pike Masters Model Train Club. Their layout is 8 feet wide and 86 feet long.
Is that American Flyer?
Which one? Pike Masters or?
Yeah.
Nope, that's H.O. Fremo.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that one.
They were
New, isn't it?
Yep, they were at the Tico show.
Okay.
Then we have the Pikes Peak Engineers. That's an N-scale group. And Colorado Live Steamers, which is the organization I mentioned earlier, which has the 7.5 and 4 1/4 inch gauge trains. And again, I want to give a shout out to Aunt Heidi's Trains. They'll be located here, and they're donating several ready-to-run sets for kids to the door prizes. And if you want more detail, go online. Go to RockyMountainTrainShow.com. Go to the floor plan. And if you click on any of the squares from the higher level floor plan, it'll zoom you in. I'll show you that in a minute.
Hey, John, there's some chat about how families, it would be it's expensive at 13 a piece, but you have a family rate, don't you?
Oh, yeah. So here's how it works. So people 13 years of age and older, I'm going to give you the base pricing, which is, I guess, is the most expensive way to go, which is 13 years of age and older are $13 a piece. But again, if you're bringing your family, you can go online and you can go in person to Copar Hobbies in Aurora in Lakewood or Rocky Mountain Train Supply in Arvada and get tickets for $10 a piece. You can go online and buy packets of tickets, which is less expensive, which is another way to go. It includes parking. So kids 12 and under are free to get into the show. Kids, Boy Scouts in uniform, Girl Scouts in uniform, and Scout leaders in uniform get into the show for free.
Okay, thank you.
Right. And so it's actually one of the most affordable things you can do with your family in the state.
But there's food all over this train show.
Yeah, so we don't know if the steakhouse is going to be open yet.
I hope so, because it's good.
So, but the Roadhouse will be open. That's a 100%. The Roadhouse will be open. They will also have the concession down here, which I mentioned, which is kind of like fair food. So yeah, that's actually they are the ones with the roasted nuts. Now that I think about it,
I see a comment. They're talking about the $3. Heath was making a joke about I wrote an article about the Rocky Mountain Train Show in Cowcatcher magazine because I was really upset with somebody for complaining about the additional $3 because they were going to ride the train in. And I'm like, you have no idea how much they do for this train show. And it was an article being thankful for having a train show, thankful for the hobby, and so I wrote this whole article about the $3. So if you want to read it, it's in Cowcatcher's. Let's see, I think it's the June-July issue. So.
Hey, Michelle, I have a question for Michelle and John G.
Yeah.
I'm interested in attending the train show, so I think I'll come. But I also really like rail fanning. Can you tell me a little bit about the rail fanning around the Denver area?
Yes. You want me to do it, John?
I like trains.
Okay.
Watch the Chasing Trains episode on this channel with Michelle in it, driving us to the BNSF
they
yard.
take them to the rail yard that we go to on the Chasing Trains episode, which is called the North Yard. It's the 48th Avenue Bridge, and it's actually a joint yard between Union Pacific and BNSF. And the UP will kick cars right underneath the bridge. So you can stand up there and just watch them kicking cars down into the yard. It's really fun. I asked for a BNSF yard when we were going on this show, and we show up and it's UP, and I'm like, we're in the wrong yard. I didn't realize it was a joint yard at the time. So it's kind of funny. It's a great place. It is probably less than 5-minute drive and probably walkable from the train show. Probably take you maybe 20 minutes. You can step outside the train show and see the Burlington Northern go by. The yards, you can also catch light rail all the time right around the show. And I like to rail fan. The road to this show is, for me, from coming from the north, I take Brighton Boulevard in because I go through a power plant. And there's all sorts of switching going on out there. And I rail fan all the way down to the train show. So for me, not only is it a cool train show, it's a rail fan drive. So,
Excellent.
And
there's a lot.
And I'll come back to rail fanning in just a second. Is my screen still being shared? Okay.
There you go.
All right. I'll start wrapping this part of it up. So again, food at the show. So you have the steakhouse might be open, but we're not sure yet. The Roadhouse will be open. Then you have concessions down here. And that's your typical kind of like food you get at a fair. Then they're going to have, there's another concession right here. And then there's actually, this is a family-friendly event, but they do have adult beverages available. And those are located right here at this bar.
Oh, we need to know where the adult beverages were.
Are those beverages with naked ladies in them?
So here's MiniPrints. Here's the beer.
That's important, right? Because Bernard, you have to have a beer, just like on your live shows.
You know, that might be too far.
To walk up,
right there. We could have moved you up. We should have put you in the booth across from it.
If you've watched me, and I'll probably do it again before the show, but we have access to the facility, and what we do is we'll go in before the show and walk basically the entire show with nothing in the building at all to give you an idea of how the scale of the show. And this year, the cafeteria should be open, and that's another restaurant. You can sit down and eat. So there's going to be plenty of seating at the show. Let's see what else.
Very
all
cool,
right.
John. Thank you for sharing all that.
All right. So now for something that's a little less boring. All right.
Oh, good. Aerial shot. There we go.
Okay.
Train track.
Here is the facility right here. So our show, the north entrance is right here. Well, actually, let me blow this up. So the north entrance is located here. The south entrance is down here. This is the new area we added on for the show this year. It's called the Stadium Hall. There's an upstairs and downstairs. This year we're renting the upstairs only. If the show continues to grow, we will also rent the downstairs, which will be another 30,000 square feet to add to the show. We also have the availability possibly of the arena. So if a Fremo group contacts us or enough vendors and manufacturers want to come to the show and we have to continue to expand, we can expand into the arena. Rail fanning. All right, so I had mentioned earlier about the inline. So the inline station is located right here. And it may seem like a bit of a walk, but again, it's only about a 10-minute walk. You get off the inline and you go down the sidewalk and you hang a right, and then you are at our show.
That's not
now, what's
far at all.
interesting is at our show, there are these stairs located here. If possible, and we have the bracelet system set up or stamps, we will let you come out onto the platform here, and you can actually rail fan this area over here.
Because there's constant rail activity in there.
Yeah,
Yes,
look at all those tracks.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty fun.
And then there's also a yard over here. You can go.
That's the 36th Street yard where the big boy would park.
Yep.
And
then,
Marek Mountaineer loads there.
And then you have the Forney Museum of Transportation.
Right there, the white roof.
Is it the white roof?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
white
that
roof.
one. Yeah.
So here's the. So if you want to
Or
see
the
a
brown
big,
roof. It's one of those.
It's
Yeah,
the
if you
brown
Oh,
want
it
roof.
is the white roof. It's the
It's
white roof,
both.
and then the brown roof is where they store the cars.
Yep. So the big boy is located right here, number 4005.
Yep.
Mhm.
It is one of the locomotives that Ed Dickens was checking out prior to them selecting the 4014.
Yeah.
And the reason they were checking this one out is, and you can get more clarification from Ed, is that it was one of the locomotives that went from coal to oil, and I think went back to coal.
Mm-hmm. But it was wrecked, so
And it was also wrecked. So you can read about that at the Forney. And the Forney also
you
has.
can also walk to it. It's so close.
So,
So you
Yes,
just go under that bridge and you're at the show. So there's an
Yes, sir.
under
Yes,
the
sir.
interstate walkway there.
Yep. So here's the show. Here's the Forney Museum of Transportation.
Excellent.
Let's see.
And then if you cross the interstate, North Yard's up on the left there.
Right.
The yard we were talking about is just right over there. So.
All right. So if you want more detail about anything, visit the website for a complete vendor list. You click on vendor list and you can come down here and you can see all the vendors and where they're located within the show.
This is
And
very
like I said,
organized.
it's pretty extensive. And then for the floor plan, here's the floor plan. And basically what this shows is how many of our tables have been sold or reserved. Right now, we only have 5 tables showing as not sold or reserved, and that number will actually decrease to 2 tonight. So we're doing really well. We've sold over 103% of what we had actually planned to sell for this show, and we're at 120% of what we sold last year. As I mentioned, if you want more detail, you can go to the map, you click on any of the booths, you'll zoom in a little bit, and then you can hover over different booths to see who's there. So you have Copar Hobbies, Soundtracks, little company called Lionel, Markland LGB. So again, you can do this on your own and check it out. Let me go back out. Click here for tickets. So you can get your tickets through our website. And again, you can get discounted tickets through Copar Hobbies. Here are the addresses. And we always tell people, make sure you read everything about buying tickets before you buy the tickets. Online discounts start with packages of 2 or more tickets. If you go to the online ticket sales and you buy a single ticket, it's going to be full price at $13. Kids 12 and under, admission is free. For Scouts in uniform, admission is free. Military members and first responders can go to VetTix and get discount tickets. Again, we mentioned the packages. So you can buy your tickets through the website. And it kind of explains how everything works with regards to the booking fees and taxes. There's a special tax. We don't charge a sales tax on the ticket, but there is a facilities development admission tax. So those are things we can't really change. So that's why if we say there's 20, we try to do 20% off of the tickets here. So like in other words, if you buy a pack of 4 for adults, it's $45. Normally that would be $52.
Right.
If I'm doing my math right.
Yeah. It's a deck of cards, right?
So you do save a little bit of money. We don't do Groupon and these other deeply more discounted tickets simply because we would start losing money on every ticket sold.
Yeah.
So this way we're making a little bit of, our organization is making a little bit of money. And again, that's what pays for the advertising and pays for the, pays the rent. Let's see.
Awesome.
So anyway, again, the show opens at, for the public, the show opens at 9 a.m. Saturday and Sunday, closes at 5 p.m. on Saturday, 4 p.m. on Sunday. If you pre-registered, you can get in an hour early. That was applicable only to members of the TCA and the NMRA, in other words, sponsors of the show. And yeah, there you go. That's my spiel.
Awesome. Thanks, John.
Yes, I know. It's very
so
very
guys,
malleable.
I have to put my cowboy hat on and leave.
And again, we mentioned Cowcatcher magazine earlier.
Yeah,
Great magazine.
it is. Especially that girl that just complains in there about all kinds of stuff. People being grumpy and
people being grumpy deserve to be complained about.
I wrote about the Oath Killers in the last one and how fun they are because people think they're the grumpiest of modelers. Those 2 real Oath Killers. Oh, shrink ray.
It looks like a shower head.
Cowcatcher magazine is great. Oh no. I've
He's got
gone
the
too
shrink
far.
ray out.
Are you
I
threatening
do
us?
this for Monster Day all the time. So
So anyway, and the show program will be available online to view in the next couple of days. It's already gone to print, and it'll be available on the website, and we'll have a link on Facebook to that. That's it.
Cool.
And now I'm 5 minutes over, and I apologize.
that's okay. I have another meeting now. I got to go put my cowboy hat on. I got to go
Yeah, you're late.
volunteer meeting. So I got to run. But
Thanks
Bernard,
for coming, Michelle.
I'm gonna shrink ya.
okay, you're going to shrink me and then I'm going to go. Okay.
And don't forget to buy your flag.
I guess it worked. She's gone.
Anyway, thanks,
That
guys.
show looks amazing, John. I can't wait. It's gonna be so much fun.
That's our goal, is to have fun.
I had no idea about the rail fanning. Like, you really are surrounded by trains.
Yep. Yeah, we were working with the fire marshal last year to find out if we could actually let people out on the platform, and it is. It's a fire. So that door is a fire exit. So letting people out's easy. It's making sure that they have their hand stamp or a bracelet on to get back in.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
It's exciting. I'm
thanks,
really looking
John.
forward
Thanks,
to it.
Bernard. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks,
Right.
Glenn.
We're just 2 weeks away, and before I get on a plane to come out there, that's all year, and this happens every year. We have these events, and it always seems like it's a couple months away. And then you look at the calendar one day and you're like, oh, that's like next week or tomorrow, So yeah, right on. And I can tell, John, that there's a lot of work in planning and organization that goes into a show of this magnitude. So
yeah, I'm the guy holding on.
Right. The guy holding on to the logo, right? Yeah.
Yes, fingernails.
Well, thanks for coming, guys. It was fun talking, and it'll be even more fun seeing you in person and having fun for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can't wait. Can't wait to meet you. Well, meet you for the first time, John. Meet you again, but we never really talked.
You were busy.
It was crazy. And I can't wait to bring the scanning to the show. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
And actually, my wife's calling me for dinner. So,
well, I better get the music going then, right?
thank you, everybody. We'll see you at the show.
Thanks, Bernard, for debuting your amazing video.
It was a lot of fun.
All right. Thanks everybody
for tonight, guys.
Right.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
My final word is thanks everybody for watching, and thanks to the moderators in the chat for keeping things on track. And catch everybody next time.